Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.
Hello and welcome. This is still Enterprise TV. We're continuing our coverage of the Ireland-Nigeria Partnership Investment Conference that has just ended in Dublin. My guest right now is Evelyn Nomayo. She's the co-founder of the Ireland-Nigeria Growth Alliance, the organizers of the conference. Let's go.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yes, how is Dublin today, by the way?
Yeah, it's getting cold. Very erratic weather, but it's fine. Thanks for asking.
That this is post-conference. Tell us about that. How was the conference this year?
I think, to be honest, this is the first of many to come. So it was a pleasant surprise because of it's not just the activities that took place, but it's what will come after it.
I can imagine.
That's what I'm excited about.
Yeah,
it was generally okay. We expected more people from Nigeria because the idea behind the conference is to see how we can get Nigerian businesses in collaboration and Irish businesses to work together. We have the Irish counterparts, but for some reason, I don't know if because of money issues, some people could not make it down, or some people applied for their visa late and they're still processing it. But anyway, it's the first and many to come. But we were really, really excited about the outcome.
Yeah, so when we look at the global south, for example, some part of South America and of course largely Africa, the focus for investment drives have always been the big players, Tokyo, Washington, Beijing, sometimes even Moscow, and so on. Why is Ireland such a viable partner for Nigeria, in your estimation?
That's a very good question because I've lived in Ireland for about 22 years, and I'm in the business space. I'm a technology person, so I train women to become technology entrepreneurs, and I know the potentials here that's not being tapped into. So every now and then it baffles me why we're not taking that great opportunity to do something. So that is why we actually decided to create this platform. So there's so much opportunity in the agricultural space, technology space. Ireland is one of the top countries in Europe that are so technologically driven in most of the things that we do here. So I was like, why can't we leverage that? Why can't Nigeria leverage that? So this year's focus was on agriculture and technology, health and technology, and fintech. So we had all the masters on the table to actually discuss how we can actually do things together, So that's why I said I'm very excited about the outcome because we have plans in place to see how we can collaborate, particularly in one space, the agricultural space. The Irish counterparts that actually came, they were like, listen, can we develop a platform where we can get even the low-end farmers in Nigeria to start working with farmers in Ireland? So that's our goal, to build a platform where we can share knowledge and share business opportunities. So it's the first of many to come. That's why I said I'm very excited about the conference.
Yeah, but I mean, in Africa here we have a saying, they say the morning shows the day. So when you assess Nigeria's foot forward, that is Nigeria's participation. For example, earlier on, my colleague spoke to the special advisor to the governor of Delta State on tourism, Tony Amechi. Was the Nigerian delegation, did it look like they had come into a space that they are looking to reap maximum benefits from? Were they able to elicit concrete commitments for investment? Were they able to look at secure, FDIs that could, in the short term, lead to strategic advantage for Nigeria? Did you see that happen?
I cannot immediately just tell you that, but I saw a lot of conversation taking place. I saw, and some Irish people did a lot of pitching of their products, of what they can offer to Nigeria. Yeah. What we were short of is that we did not have enough Nigerian businesses pitching their product, right? But we had Nigerian in Ireland that have products in Nigeria, so they were pitching, even though they live in Ireland.
That's
and
interesting.
They were talking like, oh yeah. Yeah, so they were like, oh yeah, we can do this, especially farmers. We had 2 farmers that have masters in agriculture or whatever in Nigeria.
Wow.
So they were marketing farming in Nigeria. They are very educated in that space, you know. And and after the conference, they have been coming back to us. In fact, today my email is almost jam-packed with email. How do we get started? How do we get started? You know, so yeah, I think something definite will come out of this. Definitely. So, it's just 3 days. We only just finished yesterday, so I cannot give you exact information regarding that now.
Yeah, so let's look at the viability of agriculture, as you've said. Nigeria's case is really peculiar because, in a manner of speaking, the narrative has always been the fact that a lot of policies locally could have worked if not for corruption. Even when we've had people in the space who could have come in to invest, could have come in to do a whole lot of things that can revolutionize the value chain. They often talk about the lack of ease of doing business, challenges, internal politics, and so on. And I mean, even today, as I speak with you, farmers in Nigeria are not able to access their farmlands because of banditry, because of terrorism, because of cattle rustlers, and so on. So, are you mindful of the local temperature, that is to say, the mood in Nigeria? Are you mindful of the local politics in Nigeria and how that might impact actual investment commitment that could lead to capital inflows into Nigeria?
That's a very good question. Very good question. I'll tell you, when I was inviting one of the keynote speakers, he's a top-notch person in entrepreneurship in Ireland. And she told me, she said, Evelyn, listen, we know that Nigeria this is an Irish business person. She said, we know that Nigeria is a very viable place. They look at the numbers. Nigeria, we are close to, you know, anyway, we have the figures right or wrong, close to 300 million or thereabout, 200 and something million. So that is, the population is good for business. However, when they hear anything Nigeria, what comes to their head is, ooh, fraud, corruption. And she advised me as a fellow, we are in the same political group. She said, listen, if there's a way I could get different states to come to Ireland, to come and tell us the A to Z of how to do business successfully in Nigeria, that they will jump at it. Because they know anywhere the money is, they want to go.
Of course.
It's just that they've heard so much negativity. So this conference should be centered around positive talks. And that's what Dr. Amechi did. I was blown away. He was selling Delta State with all his might. You know, he really sold Delta State. And I'm sure a lot of people were Googling, what's this Delta State all about? You know, but he did well in terms of his presentation.
Okay, I mean, let's take this home, right? Another challenge would be about the uniqueness of Nigeria. In Africa, Nigeria has the numbers. I mean, we have the market, we have the population, and for that reason, we are easily the toast of a lot of foreign investors. Yet again, in the past 1 year thereabout, there's been some sort of reconsideration. Investors in the economy are pulling out en masse, and then there is the challenge of the fact that some of the economic policies that have been introduced in Nigeria now, the ending fuel subsidies, unification of the exchange rate in the parallel and main markets, are beating back consumer power, the purchasing power of the naira. Could this be a case in which people coming to Nigeria invest and use it as a transit hub to reach Africa? Or we're looking at investing in Nigeria and believing that somehow along the line things will change and that they could make good their investments?
I think in two ways. Yes, the devaluation of the naira could actually even help potential investors to see more money, you know, coming out of it. They could just change a few euros to start up a business with a Nigerian, you know. And I think what the foreigners are looking is they're just looking for comfort.
Yeah.
And we, as Irish Nigerians, we are trying to say, okay, we are Nigerians, we are Irish as well. So we are your safe belt, you know. So what departments do you want to look into? So that you can be rest assured that wherever you put your money, it's fine. So that is where we are. That is what this is all about, to put it that way, because we are making them feel more comfortable in their skin to do business with us. So one other thing that I think is such an attraction again is the fact that we have very intelligent or very smart and very young population. And in terms of employment, they will feel they can get let me use the word cheap labor, put it that way, because if they convert the euro that they have here, in Nigeria will find out that that's a very good salary, but in their head, and they know it's quite small. So and Nigerians are very smart, especially when it comes to the technology aspect of it. They can even get software developers to do work for them there while they're doing it here in Nigeria. So there's so many avenues that we're looking at. So Nigeria is definitely a potential ground to look into. It's just to get the right person, the right source, not to start talking to the wrong people. That is why Amechi was here, to actually educate us, to say, listen, go through the right route, the correct route, and things will be good if you do it the right way. We try not to look at the negatives. We know they're there. We equally recognize that the positives they actually outweigh the negative if we focus on it. So you've been telling me how negative things are there, but look at me here. I'm seeing the positive of it. So you try change your own narrative as well.
I can imagine. Anyway, I mean, kudos to their planning, because we saw some big names, some big headline names like Abike Dabire, Ike Okafor, of course. Tony Amechi himself was there, which means there was sufficient or commendable government presence at the event. Let me take this home. Lastly, or finally, so what framework is now in place? From this first meeting, what framework is in place that guarantees that moving forward, something, in fact, that the best is really on the way?
That's a good question, but like I said, this only just finished yesterday. But from it, because after each deliberation, we kind of step in to see what did we get from this panel. What's the story? So, but one thing that we're 100% sure of is that we want to connect Irish farmers with Nigerian farmers. We're going to build a technology, a platform where that connection will take place, where Irish farmers will be able to sell their product, or Nigerian farmers will be able to sell their product and also learn. Knowledge exchange is very good, at least for a start. Let's start learning how to do things right or wrong. I don't know, the Nigerian counterparts could learn how the Irish counterparts are building their crops. Are they doing it? Technologically, that's something big that I think could change the narrative as well. Could also help support small farmers in Nigeria, because we have small farmers in Ireland as well. But of course, they are well supported compared to Nigeria. So we're 100% sure of that platform that will be set to connect Nigerian farmers to Irish farmers. Then, of course, under the health tech, we have one firm that is 100% sure that they want to come to Nigeria. They want to see how can they support the community, the people in the remote area. How can they offer them telemedicine, and also connect with other hospitals and make things work. So at least those two things are solid that we got, and more to come.
Evelyn Nnomayo, it's been a pleasure speaking with you on this episode of Special Interview Series on Enterprise TV. Thanks for your time.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much for having me.
All right, until this program comes your way again, I'm Cyril Abaku saying bye.